Hello and welcome back to the Being Grounded podcast. We're on a mission to help you to redefine success, become the best version of yourself, and find peace in this fast-paced world. Hi, my name is Fleur.
Hi, my name is Molly. On social media, we have seen so much, and as you probably have too, of lock in for the next part of the year, lock in, become the best version of yourself. And as much as we love that, as much as we are here for the becoming best version of yourself, that is what our podcast is ultimately all about. We also want to talk about the negative, toxic effects of the whole lock-in culture, especially in this last part of the year. Now, one prevalent reason why I feel like maybe the lock-in culture isn't always a good thing is because a lot of people say struggle with mental health, or some people just have a life where they don't have that privilege. Maybe they are carers, maybe they have got something which is stopping them from going to the gym and doing this and doing all these things that social media loves to tell you.
I love how you're just labeling all of my issues.
Oh, sorry.
Some people, the thing is with the lock-in is there's, as we were saying, there's going to be times in your life where you can lock in. Like, for example, last year I was at university, I was locking in because it was my final year. I wanted to get that first class. I wanted to work really hard on my assignments, and so I was locking in. I had the ability to do that because I was independent, whereas now in this era of my life I can't really, because I'm post-grad, I'm unemployed. Well, technically I have a part-time job, but I'm unemployed, and I'm also a carer soon because my mum is going for a hip surgery, and for 6 weeks she's not really going to be able to do anything, so I'm going to have to take care of her. And in general, it's like, it's scary. Like, my life is so unknown. And so when I go on social media and there's videos of people saying, lock in, make the most of the rest of this year, do this and do that, and these are the 10 steps that you need to do to lock in, it stresses me out and it overwhelms me, you know?
Yeah. And it can also lead to comparison too. Like, I was sort of thinking earlier on, because obviously I was seeing all of these lock-in videos, and I was sort of thinking, like, I didn't even think to do that. Like, I didn't even think, oh, now's the time to lock in. Obviously, I feel like your whole life is a journey. Your whole life is based and built upon different chapters. So, of course, there's going to be periods of your life where you are going to be reinventing yourself, where you are going to be in your hustle, disciplined era.
Yeah.
However, right in the phase, but there is also going to be a lot of times in your life where you're not going to be like that, where life is not going to be that easy. Maybe you are getting married, maybe you're having a baby, maybe you're a parent, maybe you're a carer, maybe you're, there's so many different factors which can stop you from doing it.
That might be the case. And I feel
exactly.
Like the reason why it's not the case for Molly and I is because we're not going back to school. Like, you're taking a gap year, I have finished university, and so the reason why we haven't had it in our heads to lock in is because we haven't had a reason to. And when you have like a job or school or a date where you have to get back to something, it's very easy to get into that routine of, okay, I need to lock in, I need to make this plan, I need to do this, I need to do that. But I don't have that, and I know you don't, Molly. Like, although we have jobs and we do social media on the side, there is no lock in because we're already locked in. Like, we're already focusing on our goals, and it's like there are aspects of my life I can focus on more. Like, for example, I don't go to the gym as much as I used to. I'm not as serious with the gym as much as I used to, and maybe I should be locking in. Maybe I should be going to the gym. I used to go to the gym like 5 to 6 times a week, and I was very serious with that. I mean, I was so serious, but it was easy for me because I could walk to the gym. It was accessible. I had the time to, but now my gym is like a 20-minute drive away. I don't have a car right now, so if my mum can't take me to the gym, then I can't go to the gym. I also don't really have a healthy relationship with the gym right now, just because I'm struggling with body image issues, and so it's not right for me to push myself into a state that I shouldn't be in. So maybe locking in looks different for you, and that's okay. Maybe there is no such thing as locking in for you. Maybe you're locking out. Maybe this is the time of your life where you have been working hard and you just want to slow down. I find it so weird that when it gets to September, we're not allowed to do that. It's like there's certain seasons of the year where we are allowed to lock in and we aren't. We're allowed to be lazy, and we are allowed to do this and we aren't allowed to do that. Like, who decides that?
100%, I agree. And I feel like Vlad just said, there's so many different ways you can lock in, and locking in doesn't always look the same for everyone. Locking in could just simply mean you getting out of bed, or locking in could simply mean you just spending your day in a different way to what you used to spend it in. And that's enough. For example, I was in a point in my life where my sleep schedule was so ruined. Like, I was going to sleep at ridiculous times at night, well, morning should I say, waking up at ridiculous times of the day, and it got to the point where it was just making me so low. My skin was breaking out because I wasn't getting the sleep I needed, and it just wasn't a vibe. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to change this. And so I decided to change and fix my sleep schedule. And the first night where I went to sleep earlier, even if it was just a few hours earlier, and woke up earlier, I thought, I'm so proud of you. Like, I'm so proud of you. Keep going. And the way you talk to yourself is so important. For example, talking to yourself, saying, I'm proud of you for doing that, is what's going to keep you going. Just that small change is enough of a lock-in. And reminding yourself that you are proud of yourself is the best way to continue that said lock-in. You know, it doesn't have to be creating a whole new routine. It can simply just be fixing one small thing, like your sleep schedule, or maybe you want to exercise more, so you go on an evening walk just for 10 minutes around your neighbourhood. That's enough of a lock-in. And it doesn't always have to be you completing all of these different things off your to-do list, like going to the gym or eating all these like salads and stuff like that. Like, you know, you spending all of your day and all of your night working and hustling and grinding, because it comes in balance, and you have to be able to find the balance between having a happy life and living a life that is given to you by your circumstances, and also living a life which is going to help you unlock the next chapter. Locking in isn't just always about, like I said, ticking things off the box. It's also about just being happy with who you are and just accepting your given circumstances, if you know what I mean.
I love that. I've just been like staring off into space thinking about what you're saying, like, wow. Because it's so true. Like, I struggle a lot with it, to be honest, because social media, depending on where you are in your life, it can be really motivating. And last year it was motivating for me to see those kind of videos, but now I don't find it motivating at all. And actually, it just stresses me out seeing videos of what people are doing with their day to day and how they're spending their life and how I should be locking in or how I should be spending my life. Or another thing is, I feel like even for the smallest things, like a full reset or a full this or a full that, or reset this or reset that, there will be like people who will make videos and it will just be like lists of each section of what you need to do each day, each week, like literally planning someone else's life. It's horrible because once upon a time, like, this is why I love watching period dramas, because I'll put on Pride and Prejudice and I'll put on these movies, I'll put on Jane Eyre. I was watching Jane Eyre with my mum the other day, and this is my mum's favourite movie, so we've watched it over like 100 times. And I just see the routine that they have, right? They don't have phones. They just wake up in the morning and live their life and go to bed. And they do the same thing every single day, and no day is the same, but then almost every day is the same, because they don't have things like social media. They don't have things like phones. They're present with their thoughts. Maybe that's why people
it's much more
had,
of a simpler life, wasn't it?
clearer skin or seemed to glow more or this or that, because they didn't feel the pressure to use things like, I don't know, makeup, look at a screen all day. Their sleep schedule was, I'm assuming, all right, because what else do they have to do but sleep? You know, like, there's nothing.
And they just wake up when the sun come up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's nothing keeping you from going to bed at night. And when I watch these kind of films, it really puts me at peace, because it reminds me of the life that I could live if I just put my phone away. And I will say, one thing I love about going to work, and I don't really love a lot about, is that it stops me from going on my phone for a whole day, and it lets me focus on something which isn't phone and which isn't social media and which isn't doom scrolling. And when I finish work, the first thing that I will do is turn on my phone and look at what I've missed out on.
Catch
and it's
up,
like,
yeah.
It's a stressful feeling of like, I've not been on my phone for 7 hours. Like, what if this has happened? Or what if that's happened? Or what if I've missed this? Or what if I've missed that? Or seeing all of these notifications coming through on YouTube or TikTok of videos you need to catch up on. What if we just decided to literally disappear off of the face of the earth and not
just
keep
live
up
your
with other
life.
people's lives,
Yeah.
and instead just lived our own life? Like, what would happen then? Do you think we would be sane? I think everyone would go insane if that happened.
I feel like people would lose out on a lot of money as well. I feel like companies would lose out on so much money.
Yeah.
Content creators would.
I mean,
lose
even
out on
we
their
would.
job.
I mean, like, at the end of the day,
we would lose out on our passion.
It's funny that we're saying that when we're on social media ourselves. So obviously, like, you know, we obviously don't want that to happen, because then no one's going to watch our videos. But then at the same time, would we even need to be sitting here making these videos if it wasn't for the way that we feel because of social media? Exactly.
People would read more. I feel like people would also have a deeper respect for, like, their elders. People would have more of a community, because I feel like with social media and we've come completely off topic, but like with social media and the rise of it, we have lost out on community. We've lost out on speaking to elder people in your community and gaining, like, knowledge and valuable wisdom. We've lost the art and the value of nature and sitting in nature, being grounded, right? We've lost out on the groundingness of nature. We've also just lost out on the touch of who we are and our soul. You know, our soul is such a deeply complex spiritual thing. And when we're constantly being blindsided and constantly being just, like, sucked into a screen and watching videos upon videos upon videos, because ultimately you're not just watching a video, you're watching different emotional states, literally for 30 seconds each watch. So when you're constantly seeing that and being exposed to that, you do lose out on a sense of who you are and your identity, because you're so, I wouldn't say indoctrinated, but maybe you're just very, very influenced by other people's emotions, other people's opinions. Are we really supposed to be exposed to thousands of people's opinions every single day telling you how you should live your life? How you should look in, what's the right political stance? Now, when it comes to politics, I feel like social media is a great place because it's very much more unfiltered on there, and you can gain a wide, broad aspect of opinions and facts, and you can kind of collate your own opinion, whereas before we wouldn't have had that. We would have just had what the government told you and what you read in the newspaper, whereas now you have access to hundreds and thousands of articles across all over the world. If I want to go and watch the news in Cambodia, I can go and do that. If I want to go and watch the news in Uganda, I can go do that. You have got the access to that whole, so it has kept us a lot more in touch with other people's cultures. We learn a lot more about culture, we learn a lot more about religion and about other people as a whole. But I feel like on the broad spectrum of things, I really feel like we're not supposed to be exposed to that many opinions all in one go, and I think it can be really toxic. And like when it comes to the whole lock-in thing, when you're constantly being exposed and you're constantly listening to everyone's different ideas of how you should lock into, you kind of think, well, my life's bad. What's wrong? You lose a bit of gratitude. That's what I'm looking for. You lose gratitude when you are constantly being exposed to other people's opinions of how you should lock in. You lose gratitude for your own life and what you already have, because you're always looking for the next best thing, and you're always looking for the next best routine and the next best habits. Look at what you already have and work with what you already have. If that means, like I said, just being able to wake up in the morning or just adopting a small habit here and there, that's enough. Sometimes you don't have access to a gym membership. Some people don't have the money to go and get a gym membership. Some people don't have the money to go and be able to do all these different things. But taking time off social media, like Fleur said about the whole what would life be like, I feel like it'd be simple. You watch the cheating rates go down.
Yeah, it's just sad because there's so many pros to social media. Like, it's great to be able to go online and, communicate with other people that you don't know, make friends, create a community, and be influenced in positive ways, definitely. But I think when it comes to things like the lock-in, or this is the style that you should be wearing, or this is the style that you should be wearing, or this is what's in for this season, or these are the colours that you should be wearing, or this is this, or this is that, or this is how you should be doing your makeup routine, or this is what skincare products you should be using, or this is that, or this is that. It's like, how can anyone know what's right for you but you? Like, why is it that we trust so much in what other people are selling us rather than what we know is right for us? No one can know what is right for you more than yourself. And I feel
so
that
true.
Although there are so many pros to social media, although it's great to be able to, have that community, what about having a community in real life? Like, it's like we forget about that. It's so easy for me, and I've fallen victim to this, to just stay in my room all day and not go out and not find ways to make new friends, because why do I need to do that when I could just doom scroll all day and watch how everyone else is living their life? you know, like, or make friends online even. Like, I've been making a lot of friends recently online. But what about just going out by myself? I mean, I've not been out in this new area that I've moved into at all since I've moved here at the beginning of May. It's been, I don't even know, I can't be asked to do the maths in my head. It's been a while, and I haven't done anything. Like, I've not met anybody yet. And there's so many people who are even at the gym that are my age. And I could go up to them and I could say, hi, you know, we live in the same area. We go to the same gym. What's stopping me? But it's like, what is stopping you is that fear of real life connection, because we don't know how to do that anymore. And you're probably thinking, what has this got to do with locking in? It has everything to do with that, because this is just another thing that social media is selling to us. And, you know, as soon as the lock-in is finished, it's going to be new year, new me. And as soon as new year, new me is finished, it's going to be, you don't need to have a partner on Valentine's Day. And as soon as that's finished, it's going to be spring is here, another new year, new me. And then as soon as that's finished, it's going to be, you have to look like your hottest self at the summertime. And then as soon as that's finished, it's going to happen all over again. And it's just going to keep on going, a bloody hamster wheel of what you should be doing with your life. And if you don't get off of it, you're going to waste your life living to the expectations of people you don't even know. Like, what's the point? Wow. Anyways, it's got really deep.
It's so true. Like, no, honestly, I totally agree, because it gets to a point where you just forget about your own life. And like Fleur said, you forget about what's right for you. Not everyone can have the same skincare routine, the same like gym routine, because every single person's different, you know, and everyone has different life experiences and different pasts, and you know, etc, different factors that influence it. So it's really about finding what works for you and what's right for you, and you can't live for the expectations and the pleasure of other people who, like I said, you don't even know. Like, you don't even know these people.
You don't even know.
These people just come online, tell you how you should look in, tell you how you should live your life, and then disappear off social media while they're making so much money from that one video. You know, it doesn't work that way. I love, and I'm all here for self-development. I feel like it is a great way to get people to develop themselves, improve themselves,
it's changed
become a better version of themselves. It's changed people's lives. But there's also a limit to regurgitating the same thing, because you do find that a lot of these self-development creators don't make content based off their own experience. They make it based off of what they've heard and what they've read, which loses the value of their wisdom. So not only is that a problem, and so you are just following people's advices who don't even know what they're talking about in the first place.
So I feel like now, going forward, now we've just left you feeling a little bit anxious, because you're like, well, great, thank you. Now what do I do with my life? You know, the thing is with the lock-in is that it gives us something to do. It gives us something to aspire towards. And sometimes when you feel so lost in your life and you don't know what you want to do with your life and you're scared of the unknown, having that aspiration and having something to look to that you know you can focus on helps you with that feeling. But maybe what's right for you
100%.
is not following the routine that someone is telling you to follow online, and just sitting down and thinking, you know what routine works for me, and what kind of life do I want to live, and what do I want to focus on, what projects do I want to focus on, what hobbies do I want to focus on. And it might take a while. I will tell you now, like, I have been struggling to find a routine that works for me, because my routine is all over the place and my sleep schedule has been all over the place, and I haven't been going to bed early, and I haven't been waking up the time I want to be waking up. In fact, I've not really been caring too much about my sleep schedule the way I used to. I used to be so strict about it. I used to not go on my phone an hour before. I used to always read. I had such a perfect routine, and sometimes I just think, what happened? Like, I had such a good lifestyle, and I don't do anything of what I did back then. I don't have my protein smoothies every day. I don't go to the gym every day. I don't read every day. I don't journal every day. I don't sleep at the right time every day. I don't meditate every day. You know, I used to do all of these things every single day, and I just think, how did I have the energy? Like, where did that come from? Because now I'm feeling so lost in my life, and I just don't even have that energy to do any of that anymore. In fact, I keep having breakdowns. I literally had one the other day, And it was just random. Like, I just started crying outside my house because I was just like, I'm so tired of this. Like, I'm so tired of social media, and I'm so tired of feeling like I'm not pretty enough, like I'm not skinny enough, like I'm not doing enough, like I'm not working hard enough, like I'm not creating the life that I'm supposed to be creating, like I'm not making the right use of my time, like I'm not making something of myself. I'm so tired of feeling behind, and it's tiring. Like, it's exhausting. It drains every ounce of energy of you, and it drains every ounce of your will to want to live, and you end up feeling like a shell of yourself. And that's how I feel right now. I feel like a shell of myself, and I've been feeling that way for a really long time because I've been living my life on social media, and I've been living my life through the eyes of other people, because it almost feels like mine has paused. I'm not at university. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going next. I was getting a lot of signs from the universe, but recently it's been quite quiet. Like, I don't really know what's happening. Like, I'm in this like awkward phase. The way that I expressed it in my YouTube video, because I just filmed a back to school video, I said that being in this middle phase of your life is a bit like having a haircut, and it's an awkward length, and you don't know whether you want to cut it short again or if you want to keep growing it out. Like, you're in that awkward phase where you just don't know what you want to do with your hair, and you're, you know, oh, you look online and people with short hair. This is what I'm going through right now with my awkward length. I'm getting my hair done tomorrow, and I don't know whether I should cut it shorter or if I should just leave it at the same length and let it grow long. Like, I honestly don't know. I think I'm just going to be sat in that chair and I'm going to tell her to do it for me, because I have no idea, because I'm seeing what people look like online, but then in my head I'm going, well, you're not pretty enough for that, and you're not skinny enough for that, and it wouldn't suit you the way that it suits them, so don't even try. And it's like, it's a horrible voice, because that's how it feels like with life. It's like you can't do what you so badly want to do because there's people telling you can't do it, or you don't know how to lock in, because what does that even look like to you when you don't even know if you are like able to survive on the day-to-day. Like, it's stressful. And this is just your reminder that it's okay to not want to listen to any of that noise, to not want to feel like you need to be reading 10 books every single month and listening to 5 podcasts every day and doing 10k steps and eating healthy and never having the cakes and all of these fun drinks that come out that are seasonal. And just live your life. Like, honestly, at the end of the day, like, are you going to, in 10 years time, think back to all of those protein smoothies and those gym sessions, or are you going to be thinking back to those pizza nights and the times that you spent with your friends, you know? Like, I'm so thankful that I locked in the past, but also I lost so much time that I could have spent just doing fun things that I didn't let myself do because I was locked in. I'm sorry, I can't go out clubbing with you because I'm locked in and I have to go to bed. I'm sorry, I can't go eat that because I don't want to eat unhealthy food. I'm sorry, I can't do that because I don't want to spend money. It's like, well, I lost time that I'm never going to get back just because I wanted to lock in because everybody else was doing it. It doesn't matter what everyone else is doing.
That's so valuable. I'm just absorbing that. That is so valuable. And I feel like that's so true as well. I feel like a lot of people can relate to that because you do lose value and you lose memories. You know, we're only here once. We're only here for a certain amount of time. This life is so temporary. And you're going to lose out on so many experiences and so many opportunities for fun and for memories. But because you were, like Fleur said, locking in, or because you were on a certain path or whatever, you've lost out on that memory and you've lost out on that time. This is your sign to live your life how you want to live it, and
Focus
stop
on
waiting
yourself.
for the approval and validation of social media and of others and of whether or not you're unlocking. You can have balance. I feel like that ends us off quite nicely, don't you think?
Yeah, lock into the life that you want. Lock into the version of you that you want to be, that fits for who you are right now. Stop locking in to society
100%.
and social media.
So before we like to end off the episode, we both like to say one thing which we're going to be doing this week to help us stay grounded. So Fleur, what are you going to be doing?
Nothing. This is not a week for me to be grounded. I am graduating. Yeah. I'm watching my best friend graduate. I am having a graduation party. Molly and I are meeting up. We're going into London. I'm working. I'm not grounding myself at all. You know, actually the only way that I'm going to be grounding myself is celebrating myself and the people that I love, which is a form of grounding. It's a form of being grounded, because you're allowing yourself to be in that present moment. And because I'm going to be doing so much this week, I can imagine that my screen time is going to be decreased. So in that sense, I'm going to be grounding myself, and I'm quite proud of myself actually, because I've noticed that I haven't really been posting on TikTok that much recently, and it's because I've not been gravitating towards going on the app, because now that I'm working, I have less time to be on social media. And so with that time that I actually do have, even though I'm only working twice a week, I then on my free days need to be focusing on social media and on the podcast. For at least 2 to 3 of those days, I'm spent looking at my laptop, which means I only really have 2 days left to do what I want to do with my life. And I don't want to be doing that. I don't want to be using that time by doom scrolling. You know, I want to play the cello, I want to learn a language, I want to write a book, I want to focus on my poetry, I want to go to the gym, I want to do the things that make me happy. So celebrating myself, celebrating other people, spending time off my phone. And yeah, what about you?
I feel like for me, it's just going to be sticking to these habits that I've set for myself. So, you know, I've sort of decided to, like I said, go to bed earlier. So it really is just going to be about sticking to that and just trying to slowly build upon a healthy routine which is in balance, and knowing that when I fall off, I just have to pick myself back up again and everything will be okay. And just really prioritizing my rest, my sleep, and my creativity. So yeah.
And that brings us to the end of the episode. We'll be leaving all of the links to the Spotify, to the Instagram, to our YouTubes, to our own YouTube down in the description. So go have a look. And yeah, we will see you next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Bye-bye.
Bye. See you later.